Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Larkin. I am the program delivery partner for First Lego League in the Eastern PA and New Jersey North um, regions. I work for First Mid Atlantic, and we will get into that. This is the new coach training. As I said, welcome everybody. Let me see, move this out of the way. Okay. And it's great that we have a lot of rookies, which is really exciting. We're going to call this FLL 101. There is going to be an FLL 102 tonight, so dig in. We're going to be on a while. I want to start by thanking you all for jumping in and supporting First Lego League. I have been doing I've been involved with First for 26 years. I started the FRC team at Lansdale Catholic High School where my kids went. And the year after, I got involved in FLL when it started. I've been running a competition. Wow. We've been running a competition at Lansdale Catholic for the last bunch of years. I've now retired from that team, and I'm working with other teams as the need arises. Again, if you wouldn't mind, please make sure you mute. But I want to thank all you for coming in. What you're doing is really a wonderful thing for your kids. All four of my kids went through this, and it literally changed their lives. As I said, the first program, it's been around for many years, and they have partners like myself all over the world running their regions. You're a part of the First Lego League, but there's also, and that runs the gamut from kindergarten all the way through up 8th grade. And then we have First Check Challenge that goes from 7th grade all the way through high school, and then FRC, which is 9th grade all the way through 12th grade. And they all are designed to get your kids to think about the world beyond where they are. And the way we do it is we use robots to attract their attention. That's the shiny thing we put in front of them. They don't realize what we're doing, but it's a great program. We're trying to build STEM awareness, skills. I mean, we want them to think about becoming scientists and engineers and marketing people. Just have an idea that there are things that are out there that they can do, and it's not possible for them to learn how to do it. I always like to use a story. I was an amateur astronomer, and I was at a star party, and we were looking at the sun during the day with a star filter. And I brought this 9-year-old kid over. I said, "Come here, Aaron, look at this. You can see the sun." He looked at it and he saw black spots on it, sunspots. And he said, "Oh, that's the coolest thing in the world." And I said to him, "Maybe you could be an astronomer or an astrophysicist." And he goes, "Oh, I could never do that." And I said to him, "You're 9 years old. What are you kidding? You can do it." And this is the kind of attitude we want to have with these kids. You go, look, we're going to think through these problems. Let's work through the problems, and we're going to solve these. We want innovation and entrepreneurship. Instead of giving I always did this with my kids. Instead of giving them the answers, I'd say, "Well, let's talk about it." And it used to drive them nuts. But we walked down the problem, and we finally got to an answer. In a lot of cases, you'd pull the answer out of them. And they were like, "Oh, I got it. This is the time for us to be doing this." And these are all 21st century life skills. Right? Everything, teamwork, leadership, creative problem solving, critical thinking, time management. I mean, why do you think they only give us, like in FRC, we only get 6 weeks? It's because we don't want this to drag on forever. And we want you to think about what can I get done really well in the amount of time that I have. So those are the important points. Now, there's been all kinds of studies out there on First. A lot of this information might be old. But even then, I think this was 2011, it was pretty impressive, and it's only gotten better. I haven't seen any studies, and I really should look to get new information, but I think the point is you're seeing that it does help, especially girls. I mean, girls thrive in this environment. A lot of times I'll say to them, "Look, I'm going to turn you into a coding warrior princess. Is that okay?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that'd be great, Mr. Larkin. That'd be great." You know what I'm saying? We got to be funny. We got to get their attention. So, first, global community. Now, they're based up in Manchester, but they have people working all over the country, all over the world. I do not work for them. I actually retired from Comcast in 2019, and I work for an organization called First Mid-Atlantic. We're a 501c nonprofit that we have a license or a memo of understanding with First to run programs in New Jersey, Delaware, and Eastern Pennsylvania. For FRC, we run it in those areas. For First Lego League, we only run it in PA East and New Jersey North. When I started, we only had PA Southeast, and over the last couple of years, we've picked up all those other areas. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up taking over the entire state of Pennsylvania, but who knows what's going to happen. You can see the map. So there's Eastern PA, and there's New Jersey, right? New Jersey and Eastern PA. We have between us about 500 teams. And in fact, we're growing at a rate now of about 50 new teams per month, which is really great. We're going to see that slow down. But what happened is all of the schools came in, and now they are all trying to get registered into the program. So we're 50 ahead of where we were last year, which is really exciting. Below us is Delaware, New Jersey South, and the two of us together are much bigger than any of the other programs in the state, even if you combine them. So it's really exciting. So FLL Explore is the two programs that I really deal with. I don't deal with Discover because that's with kindergartners. But in that program, that introduces 6 and 8-year-olds to this whole process, right? It's the same idea. It's a mini challenge based on the annual theme. They explore the topic, and then they build a model with Lego bricks. They even have a programming component with Spike Essentials and moving parts. And they create a poster that depicts what they're doing. It's really exciting. And I love, and please do this, if you're at an Explore festival, please go over and just, I'm a big person, so I get down on my hand and knees and I go, all right, tell me what we got here. And it's great. They just go off and they start talking, and it's really a lot of fun. You ask them a lot of questions, and I just love it. I think it's great. We also have Challenge, which is what we're talking about tonight. And I can tell you so many stories where we had huge, wonderful teaching moments with these kids, and you could see the kid changed right in front of you. This season is called Masterpiece. Each season, it's a different topic. This year, it happens to be how do we produce all of the shows and movies and videos and all the different ways we have to create art. And it's a really great topic. This is something that your kids are immersed in, but they may not have any idea how any of this works. This is an opportunity for them to see it. All right, so let's talk about your registration and fees. Registration was $250 plus the challenge set is $75 plus shipping. The Spike Prime kit, it was $533. Then you're going to talk about a practice table, miscellaneous T-shirts. Qualifier reservation this year is going to be $100, and that's for PA East and New Jersey North. Okay. The championship is going to be $125 if you move on from your regional to the championship. You're going to have some presentation supplies and so forth for a total rookie cost of about $1,450. And then sustaining each year, it's going to be a little bit different. Some of the stuff carries over. But if you have, like, I've met a whole bunch of people. I've been doing a lot of shows. I was just at the Wyoming State County Fair. And I'm telling people, look, like someone came up with 3 little girls, 9, 7, and 5. I said, if you get involved with this now, the other kids are going to come along and they're going to move up through this program. So for the initial expenditure, which is, I mean, it's not cheap, but with that initial expenditure, you have a way to get these kids all set up to go into high school. And that's exactly what I saw through my own kids, a couple of my own kids. All right. There's a lot of information out there. Okay. And one of the things that I tried to do is put together on our website various links that you can go find stuff. So I have a section called Coaches Required Reading. What does that mean? This is the stuff that I think you should be looking at and reading. There's also teams required documentation. It's the different documentation that you're supposed to have. All right. FMA, FLL participation and registration. How do you register for an event? We now have the registration is open as a test. And it's so you can go through that process. And you can go, we already have about 10 or 15 people who have signed up. But you're going to have to re-register starting on October the 9th. But this is a test. I am going to start. I've been busy with this and other stuff. But next week, I'm going to start processing those requests that came in. And you may, if you have already sent this, you may get an email that you didn't do something right or something has to be changed. But that's why we're doing this, okay? Coaches training, discussion of the FLL project, Mid-Atlantic Robotics, MAR, FLL challenge tools. Those are a tool set that I have written that might help you get going quicker in writing your code. Basically, it's a way to do navigation quicker, and it does not replace what FIRST does. It uses it, but I also explain the math and how it all works. So your kids, instead of just having a function that says go do this, they can look at the behind it and they can say, "Oh, I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing here." To me, that's important. It's important so they understand what's going on. So they're not afraid to program. So they get the idea. We're moving numbers around, and these numbers make the robot go move in different directions. And then there's a section on the Spike Prime. We also have something called the EV3, and the EV3 is a robot from years past that is all still usable. So that's an option if you happen to have an EV3. The tools I have were created last year and have a section that will run EV3. Okay. So I'm going to go and pull in. There's the website. So this is our website. If you come into our website, you'll come into FLL, right? You click the FLL. I get a few. I got 3 numbers. I got 3 digits. Here's a welcome page. Some of the things I already showed you are there. But what I want to do is I'm going to now go. Here's our calendars. There's the 2 calendars, PA East and New Jersey North. Here is the challenge info, the stuff that I just talked about there. You jump down to topics, boop, and here we go. Coaches required reading, teams required documentation, process, all the things I just talked about. One of the new things I put up today, or a couple of days ago, was storing your challenge table pieces. Basically, it's a short tutorial on how to take that box that you got and use it to store all your field pieces securely so you're not going to lose a bunch of stuff. Okay? I know the box is going to be open. You go through that. If anybody would do me a favor, go through it and give me your feedback and tell me what you think. Okay? I've been doing it this way for a number of years. To give you an example, First Mid-Atlantic, I purchased 70 of these kits that we have to use at these competitions. We're going to have 21 competitions. And I'm going to have to share these at some of those competitions. So you get an idea. I want to make sure that we get all that stuff back. All right. Let me move that back. All right. One of the things that you can get to when you go into coaches required reading, I'm going to go click that. Now, this is a whole list of stuff. All right, but one of the big things that you want to get to is these seasons pages. This seasons pages has everything you need to know about the season from a FIRST standpoint. And there are 2 of them because some of the information is not on the one page. So you might have to go look through both of them. I suggest on a Saturday, sit down with a cup of coffee or a Diet Coke as I would and go through some of these pages. Okay? You can see there's a table building instructions, how to put together one of these tables. It's also included in there, but Ernie asked me to please put it up there because he's getting pounded for questions about how do you put together a table. And a big one is right here, the Masterpiece Challenge updates and clarifications. All you have to do is click it. And it's a PDF document that FIRST is maintaining to tell you all of the changes. And already there's a whole bunch of changes. So you're going to want to go in there and make sure that you have the latest and greatest. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way. So we're going to go look at the first season page. This is the first season page. Scroll down to season resources, various challenge videos. All of this stuff is there. We're going to go take a quick look at that. I come up here. Here's the first season's page. There we are. We're going to scroll down. And here we are. Challenges the default season. And here's all of the different things you're going to need to look at. I just put together the entire table with my wife and I. So we use the, where was it? It's the missions, not the video. Yeah, whatever. The mission instructions. There we are. Mission building instructions. Okay. There's all kinds of information here that you can use. In fact, one of the cool ones right here is, and I don't know that anybody's really using it, is the wireframe grid. So I asked First to do this a couple of years ago. I'm not sure if they did it because of me asking, but I'm going to claim it. Because what I wanted to be able to do, and I think you can do it, is if you're doing this right, you should be able to do the whole table. You can have your kids start drawing on the paper, go out this way at 0 degrees, then turn 45, drive over here, then turn to minus 45, go over here. You could have them plot this all out, program it, and then test it. And why would you want to do that? You want to do that because this way you can get the kids to get a lot more done without having to have the robot in their hands. What happens a lot of times is the kid will sit there, they'll go, all right, go out this far. Oh, it's not far enough. Oh, okay. And they spend 45 minutes getting it to go out to the spot they want. Then they turn. Oh, that's not enough. You know what I'm saying? So if you do this whole thing and do it on a piece of paper, they have a lot of time of doing it, and it gets them to think out of the box and how things are done. In fact, they even on here show you that this distance, right, is 20 centimeters. This distance is 28 centimeters, 28, right? So you can have them go out and estimate the whole thing, put it together, and then say, all right, go. Without putting any tools on. This is just driving, okay? And they can have a great time doing that. It's a great way to get them started. All right. I'm also going to show you the other page. Remember I said it's got some different stuff? Well, it does. We come over here. This one also has, this is different. It's game and season page. Here's first challenge materials. And it has a bunch of the other stuff, challenge overview, welcome letter, right? Engineering notebooks, if you need a copy of them. Robot rule book. The big thing here is this: rules, judging, and rubrics. Participation rules, the rubrics, color and gray version, judging session flowchart, right? Official judging spreadsheet, and awards list. Okay? There's also other stuff down here. Eventually, we're going to be sending you some information about something called the Event Hub. The Event Hub. And when you actually go to a competition, we are going to be using that Event Hub to process the event. First, put this together over the last couple of years. Okay, but we're not going to worry about that now. We'll talk about that later. Okay. All right. So what are we playing? This season, we're playing Masterpiece. Masterpiece, right? And this is what the game looks like. Now, we do have the base. Here's a base over here on this side and another one over here. Basically, the idea is you launch your mission from this base. You go out and do a bunch of things. And usually, or what you can do, you don't have to, is you go back and end up over here. So the idea is, first, like the idea of more kids at the table. That's what they're trying to do. So you would break your team up to, you literally have to break your team in half. Half of them on one side, half of them on the other. Or you might have, if you had 6 kids on the team, you might have 4 on one side and 4 on the other. And what I recommend you do is you build a simple base robot, whatever that's going to be. So the simple base robot, there's a ton of videos out there on a simple base robot. I even have one that I use for my demos that is a simple base robot. Whether or not it's going to work for this year, you guys will have to decide. But you start with the simple base robot, and then you break your teams up into twos, 2 people working together. And you say, okay, I'm thinking that what I want you, let's talk about who's going to do what missions. And you might say, all right, you are going to write it so it's going to do mission 1, 2, and 3, right? If you think you can, or maybe 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to drive over here. So they put their parts on the robot, they send it out, they do 1, 2, 3, 4, then they drive over to the other side, over to here. Then team 2 is here. They take off the attachments that team 1 put on, they put on their attachments, right? And then they go out and you say, okay, you're going to go out and do missions 7, 6, 5, and 4, and then you're going to go back to the other side. And then you're going to say to your next team, okay, you, team 3, are going to take off teams 2 stuff, you're going to put on teams 3 stuff, and you're going to go try and do 10, 11, 9, and 8. And then you're going to end up over here. And if there's time left, you might have group 2 put new parts on, and they're going to do 12 and 13. Believe me, that's a long haul. If you'll see, watch some videos of teams that do this. Please watch the videos because you'll see how these teams do it. Encourage your kids to watch the videos. All of the information is out there about how they manage this and how they do it. Okay? And they can go out and do many, many missions. It's pretty amazing how they do it. All right, let's talking about the materials you've got. You should have received 10 engineering notebooks for your team. So what is an engineering notebook? It's essentially, when you're an engineer, you're supposed to keep a notebook on your nightstand and write things down. I was not too good at it because my handwriting stinks, but I did type a lot of stuff. Okay? But you want your kids to put their ideas down when they're at home. When you're at home, you're not done. You're not done. You're thinking about stuff. When you're watching TV, you might get an idea. Open the engineering notebook, write it down, or keep a piece of paper by your side. We want to capture all those ideas because if you get an idea and then forget it, we might have lost something really good. Okay? So you want to encourage them to use the engineering notebook. You don't have to necessarily use it, but you really want to encourage them to use that. I think the judges might even ask you to see them, so you may want to have them, and they don't have to be neat, please. We see stuff from teams that are immaculate, and my answer is it doesn't have to be immaculate. Again, I don't have good handwriting, so you're discouraging the kid like me who can't write, but I can think. All right, so I really want you to think about letting them just do it in their own handwriting. All of the boards they put up, let them put that stuff up. Especially the little kids. Handwriting stuff. Mix it with stuff you want to mix it with stuff that's done well, like typewritten or PowerPoint or whatever. But you want to mix it up so you show that they put that stuff up there. Okay? Here's the team meeting guide. So one of the things a couple of years first started to do is this idea that they would try to push this into the schools. In fact, our competitors have been doing this for a number of years, and they're doing well. And so first decided, okay, we're going to start producing classroom grade materials that a teacher can use to help get them going. And that's what this team meeting guide is. It's going to suggest a structure of 12 team sessions, okay? And they're broken up between robot and innovation project where the team is split. So you're going to want to get somebody to help you maybe do the project side and somebody else maybe do the robot side. A parent would be great. I mean, if you can get parents to help you do it, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Now, these team meeting guides, you don't necessarily have to use. Okay? We suggest that you use them because they're helpful, especially when you're a new rookie coach, but you don't necessarily have to use it. And later on, you may not decide to use it, but it is a good starting point. So we suggest that you're going to want to think about using them. And then obviously the game rule book. This is the rule book of the game. Now, I think it's very, very important that you read the rules carefully. Okay? Read the rules carefully. Let me give you an example. Years ago, my sister-in-law had a Girl Scout team, and she called me and said around Thanksgiving, after they went to their before they went to their first competition, she said, one of the girls on the team has the job of building something called a wave generator, which has to do with generating waves from the water, from the tide. And she said, Frank, she built it out of every part that was left in the kit that's not on the robot. It is so big the robot can't move. So I said to her, well, tell her you can't use it. And she said she's going to cry. And I said, look, there is crying in robots, okay, but you got to get over it. So it's not the end of the world. So she said, go back to her. She said to her, go back and think of the easiest way you can do this. And the kid went back. When they got to the competition, what'd they have? The rules required that the piece was made of Legos and it had 5 moving pieces. So they took a little person and they pushed it out to the sea, and they came back and the referee said, what is that? And they said, that's our wave generator. And the referee said, you can't, that's not a wave generator, that's a person. And the kid put her finger up and she said, excuse me, the rules require it be a Lego piece and it have 5 moving pieces. She picked it up. She said the head turns, the arms turn. That's 3 head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. And he was, oh, what a lovely wave generator. That's my point. Read the rules, okay? And you can go ask questions. You can go ask questions of the first committee. They'll take clarification rules. Keep an eye on the rules. Keep an eye on that discussion, because you'll be able to see what people are thinking. Okay? The point is, make sure you read the rules. All right. So the competition season. It opened in May. August 1st was the challenge, was released on the first website. We're going to have through September, actually all the way through January, we'll have weekly coaches calls, the Let's Be Frank calls. You can come on, ask any question you like. In fact, I think it's going to be next Wednesday, I'm going to have a special session for the new 3.0 version of the MAR tools. I got to get that all straightened out. I got to send out an email on that. Coaches training we're doing now. October 9th is going to be the official registration. So I would ask you to get your paperwork done. Make sure you get your first YPP done, because if a coach comes in and tries to register and the YPP is not done, you're not going to be able to register. Okay? You have to be paid to First, in good standing with First, and at least one coach has to have YPP. If that's not happening, you're going to get a message saying you can't register because somebody is not YPP yet. We're going to take a very, very strong look at security this year, and we'll talk about that in a minute. In New Jersey North, the regional qualifying tournaments, or RQTs, are November and December. And in PA East, they're December and January. Why the difference? Because we're two different regions that started under 2 different sets of rules. The difference in New Jersey North is all of the events in New Jersey North are run by First robotics competition teams, and they want to be completed by the time they get into January, because they start their season. New Jersey North Championship will be December the 10th. PA East Championship is going to be later in January. I haven't even found a location. I'm trying. We're hoping to have 60 teams. It may end up being 48, but that's where that stands. More to come. So what is a team? 2 to 10 kids, 9 to 14. Some people come in and say, well, I have a kid who's 8, but he's really advanced in it. Okay, put him on the team, as long as I'm okay with that. But you can't say if the kid's 15. In that case, the kid become a youth mentor of the team. There's no reason for a 15-year-old to be in there with 14-year-olds. But as a mentor, that's fine. 2 coaches are required, okay? And both have to have First Youth Protection Program background complete. I will get that information from information sent from First, so I'll know. And eventually I'll be sending scorecards out gently reminding people that we have to get that done. You're going to hold meetings probably about 2 hours per meeting, 2 to 3 days a week, maybe weekends as you near the competitions. A lot of times you might have a whole Saturday morning, and that's the kind of stuff that happens. The three parts of what we're doing, the build and the programming the robot, doing the research project, and doing it with gracious professionalism are all equally important. You should attend a scrimmage before your qualifier. Some people come and say, oh, we're not ready to attend the scrimmage. We're not ready. It doesn't matter. You're going because you want to see what it's like. In fact, it's much better to go to a scrimmage because then they'll see all the other teams and what they're doing, and it'll light a fire under your team about, oh, man, that's great. Let's go. I guarantee you should go to a scrimmage. All the scrimmages are up on our website, and all of the registrations for those are directly to the scrimmage runners, and it will open on October the 2nd. Okay, you're going to attend a weekend day qualifying tournament. It's only one day, Saturday or Sunday, and if you qualify from there, you'll attend the championship tournament. All right. So what is a regional qualifying tournament? So this is run by First Challenge Tournament is run by an organization recognized by First Mid-Atlantic from our region. We have a whole bunch of them who've been doing it for a number of years. The event has to follow first rules. There's all kinds of rules that we have to follow for running that. Many volunteers are involved as referees, tournament managers, other positions, and finally judges. Any of you who wants to come in, join one of these as a volunteer before your team competes, you're welcome. Come and do it because you get to learn what it's all about. You can see how everything is going to work, and it'll only help you further on. In fact, at the scrimmages, go to a scrimmage and see how it's run. Ask them if you can help, and you can see all the different things, and you can ask them all kinds of questions. The RQT is usually a one-day event. I don't think we have any that are more. And when we say under COVID rules, we have COVID. So whatever the rules are we going to mask or not? It's really up to what happens with COVID. So the RQT will concern itself with all aspects of FLL Challenge, the robot game, innovation, and core values. Typically, you'll arrive there around 8 a.m. You'll register. You'll have a coach meeting, opening ceremony, and judging will start. Usually judging is going to start at 9 a.m. I don't know, 9:30 maybe. There will be a lunch break. After that, the robot matches. You might have some dancing. Who knows? Line dancing, you might. We used to have it at Lanza Catholic. And award deliberation. As soon as the judges are finished doing their judging, which will be around 12:30, they're going to go into deliberations to figure out what's going on. And then we should have an award ceremony by 4:30. All right. So when you get there, you're going to have a pit area. A pit area, you'll have a table. Usually it's a 3x8 or 3x6. 3x6, yeah. 3x6 or 3x8 table. And it's really designed for you to put all your team materials, not necessarily your table, but your team materials there. You might have a trifold that other teams can come around and look at. You can go look at the others. But they'll usually maybe one or two chairs for the mentors. Kids can sit on the ground. Sometimes kids bring games that they can play, so they're entertained. And as you can see in that picture, sometimes people put the fields on the floor and can do their own testing. There will be several practice fields that you'll be able to go to, and you'll have to ask the individual events where those are and what's the time limit and so forth. All right. So now let's talk about judging and scoring. So there are 4 parts of this. There's the robot for your judging and scoring. There's the robot design, innovation project, robot game, and core values. Each of them are equally weighted. All right. So it's 25% of your total performance. Right. Your robot performance is evaluated during the robot game when you're actually competing. And that's pretty simple, right? You're going to get scores and whatnot. The kids will finish and they'll stand with the referee. The referee will go over it and say, here's what we got. Everybody will agree. One of the kids will sign it. Yep, we agree. And that's your score for that one. High score wins the robot game. But your overall score there, your overall high score, is used to figure out where you finished in the robot game. The other three parts are evaluated during the half-hour judging session. Okay, a half-hour judging session. And core values should be demonstrated at the event at all times, where you will showcase your team's work, design, innovation project. We'll talk about that in a minute. So project judging. You're going to go into a room and there'll be three judges. We might have a training judge or something in the back. Usually they'll allow in a coach to sit to the side, maybe with a camera, but we will want to see that the coach is not prompting the kids. That's not what this is about. We want the kids on their own to figure out what they're going to say. Okay, so you have to practice this. You can put on a skit. That's what these kids are doing. You can put on a commercial. Sometimes people do a commercial. We don't want you to record a commercial. We want you to do the commercial in front of us. But it's supposed to be like a play. You could have dancing, anything you like to get your point across of what it is you're discussing. You may have a poster that you bring in to show different things. Try to make it clear of what's going on. You may hand the judges a design. There's a document that is a design layout of your robot, okay? And you can hand that to the judges, all right, when you come in. So the robot design judging, what are we talking about there? This will be the second 10 minutes of that discussion. Well, let me just take a step back. In the project, you're going to do a 5-minute presentation, and then the judges are going to ask questions for 5 minutes. You want to make sure that you complete everything in 5 minutes. Otherwise, they may cut you off so that they can ask questions. The same thing is here for the robot design judging. You're going to want to go through your robot design and explain it to the judges. Having papers and all this other stuff is great. The judges want to hear from your kids. What are they saying? Do they know what they're talking about? Was everybody else involved? Some teams come in and there's only one person talking. That's not good. We want all the kids to have something to say. Okay, and that's important. Now, if you happen to have a child on the team who has some problems or whatever, let us know, and then we won't worry about that, and we'll make sure that the child, we've had kids who speak out, and we just ignore them. I mean, this is what we have to do, but we have to know about it in order for us to have it. I mean, we've had deaf kids in there with an interpreter, and we got through it. So it's really a time for your kids to shine about what they know. So now we do core values. Core values, the idea is we had a gentleman, Dr. Woody Flowers from MIT, and he was a great guy. I knew him, very, very nice guy. And he coined the term gracious professionalism, and we use that now everywhere. Act in a way that makes your grandmother proud. I mean, that's it. If we go out of our way to help other teams, we go out of way. I mean, I remember the very first couple of years we had kids. One, kid is being a smart aleck, knocks down the robot from the other kid as he's carrying it. And believe me, that doesn't even happen. We don't even come close. So we need people to. Everybody is there to have a good time, enjoy it, enjoy what's going on, and we want to see gracious professionalism. We've seen fist fights break out at the practice table, not good. And even in the judging room, when people are talking, you say, if one child wants to speak, you say, could I add something? You know what I mean? Coach them in how to be nice to each other in the judging room so that everybody's got something to say. Make sure they understand how to do that. Okay. Now the robot game. Robot game, we already talked about that. You're going to go put your pieces up on the field. The field will be all set. Make sure the field is ready. If there's something that's not ready, bring it out to the referees' notice, and they'll work on fixing it. Make sure you practice this over and over and over and over again so it becomes rote. Watch some videos of other teams doing it, and you'll see it runs like a smooth watch. It's amazing what some of them do. Okay. The other thing is we're here to have fun. And so we want to have spirit. I don't know if you guys saw a picture of me, but I have lovely white hair and it's the perfect thing for spraying in color. And my mustache and beard, and not beard, but my mustache and eyebrows. So I'm usually with colored hair. Um, but I just want we all want everybody to have fun. We just enjoy themselves. Don't take yourself too seriously. I mean, sometimes teams go in there and they're, oh, we got to win, we got to this, we got to that. It's nice when you win. It's very nice when you win, but we don't want them to miss the fact that we're reprogramming them to become adults. Okay. So we want them to enjoy it. So as a coach, act like an idiot and just let them see that it's okay. Maybe not act like an idiot, but you get the idea. And flair, dress your team up. This is a great way to build esprit de corps. Oh, I got the good hat. There's a team that from New Jersey that has, what are they? The something Pelicans or something, and they wear these flamingos, and they wear these big flamingos hat with a thing, and the adults are wearing them too. And I mean, it's it's funny. It's not unusual. You'll see me running around in a tutu, but why? Because we're just trying to have fun. We're just trying to have fun, and so it's kind of important. Okay. Well, there it is. Have fun. Even you'll see a lot of times the referees will be wearing silly hats. And again, esprit de corps. It's just a great way to have fun. All right, I'm going to look here.
Hi, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So I'm new. I'm starting a rookie team. I wanted to know, so it's mandatory that I have two coaches
Yes.
for the team.
Yes.
Okay. And then my second question is actually, I have a third question. For the qualifiers, do I need to bring all the materials that the kids are working on to the qualifiers? So of course the robot, but do I also have to bring in the obstacle pieces and the mat and the table?
Not the table, but may want to, if you go look at that thing I have that says how to build the how to build the hang on.
Is it the the black top with the wood pieces?
No, you don't want to build, you don't have to bring the table.
Okay.
But you may want to bring the parts because sometimes there's enough room for you to lay the mat on the floor, set everything up, and then your kids can sit there and work on it without having to go to the practice table.
Okay, right? Sounds good.
There's also a pedestal piece that you will have in the kit. You're going to have this pedestal piece in the kit, and you will have to put your own parts on that, and you're definitely going to have to bring that.
Okay. And then my third question is, I did look at all of the dates that you have for the calendar for the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah. What region are you in?
So I'm in the north. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
New Jersey or PA?
New Jersey. So okay. I was looking at the scrimmages, and all of the scrimmages are booked.
No, they're not. They didn't update their forms. We had a conversation about that. I'm going to send out a blast probably tomorrow.
Okay.
I changed it around. If you go look at the calendars, all of the scrimmages now say registration will open on October 2nd at 7:30 on Monday, October 2nd at 7:30.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so that was pretty much. So what would you recommend for a rookie team? I'm going to go to that workshop that they have at Brookdale. I think it was like the mall or something.
Yep.
Commons or something.
Yep.
And then a scrimmage and then the qualifier. Is there anything else that I would be missing?
No. I mean,
okay.
When are you started? Did you start with your team?
Well, I did. We started this week.
Good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
What you could do is start planning missions without having a program or any of that stuff. Sit down, print up some of those forms and say, all right, what do we think we can do? What do we need to perform this mission? And draw them out and say, if we did this, then we did that, then we did that. Would that be hard? Okay, who's
Okay.
going to do that? All right, you guys, and you draw it
Oh,
out, and you might even, you might even measure it out on the floor, and they could program.
okay.
All right,
And is there a minimum number of players that I need on a team? I have 3 boys.
that's
Is
fine.
that enough?
Sure, two
Okay.
is two is
Okay.
fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, all right. Who's next?
Hi, this is Kumar. Um, my question is like, okay, is this recording available for me to review after this session?
I'm gonna once we're done, I'll save it and I'll post it. Probably tomorrow it'll be up.
Okay, so my team has team members from Phoenixville and as well as um, Lansdale. So my question is like, okay, do we belong to the this Mid-Atlantic team only, or we have a different chapter?
Let me show you. I want to show you something. That's a good point. I just put this up. I'm pretty proud of this. Hang on. So if I go back here to team info, FLL teams distribution. Oops, not that. Come on. So whenever I get the information, in fact, I just got the newest information today. I put up a heat map. All of your teams are here. Okay. You can go to your team, click on a bubble, right? So this guy's Central Valley, PA. So all of your teams are listed. So all of these colors are PA East. All of these are New Jersey North. So you're in PA East because you said Lansdale and Phoenixville, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're in Eastern PA.
Okay. I have a couple of more questions. So like for this registration, like, okay, now we are in September. Somehow I got the information that, okay, it's the qualifiers is going to start in October. And
No, the qualifiers will start. Look at the calendar. Go look at the calendar.
oh, okay.
The scrimmages might be in October and November, but the qualifiers, registration for the qualifiers will open in October.
Okay. It's can we see these kind of any timelines within the dashboard on the first Inspires, or we have to come back to this and track this information here in this website?
I guess I could add a page that has the timeline. I mean, if you look at the count, have you gone to the calendar?
Sorry, I missed it. Okay.
All right.
On
So
the calendar.
Hang on. Hold on. Let's go look at the calendar. Regional activities, PA East.
Okay. Got it.
If you look down here, here's all of the regional activities. A lot, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
And all you do, so here's 2 scrimmages. Here's another scrimmage, right? Actually, Lansdale Catholic is, that's the one that I started many years ago. And a lot of these are, they run a little differently. Downingtown is going to be as close to a real competition as you can get. Lansdale Catholic is more like a fun day. You can get judged if you want. You can run robots. YCDS is the same thing. But when you use this page, you come in, click it, and there you are. There's all your information about the event. Back to page index.
Okay. So we have to come here, and then if there is any fee that we need to pay, and then to participate in this kind of events, then we have to come here only, right?
You go there, and then when you click their links, they're going to provide links for you to register. And those right now, those links are not turned on. If you look down here, it says scrimmage registration opens October 2nd at 7:30. At that time, this will switch, and you'll have a link, and you can go in and register.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Another question. Okay. If we don't have any,
I have a question. So this is
Go ahead.
Max.
Yep.
We just started a team, and I think all of us are new to this. What would you suggest as the first step for this journey?
Well, so the shortest path for the journey, you could, for example, go online and find a robot that they already have built. There's a whole bunch of them out there. With the toolkit, the MAR toolkit that I'm putting together, you could use what I'm suggesting, and at least you'll be able to drive around. But then you need to figure out your missions, the order in which they're going to be, what attachments you have to put on that robot, and you need to be able to go and program your missions. And as I said, break your kids. How many kids are on the team?
7.
You need to break them up into groups of 2 or 3. 2 kids will build the attachments that you're going to put on the robot. Okay. And so I would recommend that you go look at the MAR tools, go click that link on Coaches Required. On the web, on the info website, there's a whole explanation about how this works. And it includes the math and everything to show kids how it works. I will be putting out a 3.0 version, and it will give you a quick way to get started with a lot of it. And with that tool, you're able to use measurements, real measurements, inches, centimeters, whatever you want, and be able to figure out how the robot gets there. That's why I say you can do it on paper.
Okay, so where do we order the Legos and the I mean?
Did you sign up for FIRST?
Oh, I haven't. So the next step is sign up, right? So getting those packages.
You have to go and sign up with FIRST, right? Under Start a Team.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to want to go to the website firstinspires.org. Right? And usually what you can do is programs, right?
Yeah.
First Lego League. No, not that one. What you want to do, let's see, programs. Well, you can go there and, oh, wait a minute, there it is. See there? Start a team. See that? First Lego League, start a team.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. You can go there and it'll give you all the information. Here's cost and registration, seasonal calendar, core values, right?
Okay.
Best way to go. All right?
All right, great. Thank you.
Yep. And if you have any questions along the way, anybody, you can send me an email or come on the Wednesday calls and I'll help you out.
Great.
Hey, Mr. Larkin?
Yes.
One more question. This is Rahul here. You talked about that MAR kit. What is that and where is that information?
Go look on the here's PA East. We're going up here again. Again, I'm trying to give you a place that you can get a lot of this information. FLL Challenge Team Info.
Okay.
MAR Challenge Tools.
Challenge Team Info.
See it?
Yes, MAR FLL Challenge Tools. Okay, great.
Now, the thing is, this works only with it. This version, the 2.0 version, worked with the Spike Prime as well as the EV3, which is an older robot. The new version 3.0 is what I have to get prepared. I'll have it ready probably by the weekend, and then we'll have a meeting next Wednesday to talk about it. But if you go watch this video about line following and gyro, you'll get a good understanding about how all of that stuff works. And then there's a GitHub repo right here where the code is stored.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Okay. So if you're interested in using this, go ahead and read all of this stuff and you'll be way ahead of the game.
Perfect. Thanks a bunch.
You're welcome.
Frank,
Anyone?
I have a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
One is I'm still not clear that when we attending the competition, all of those mission models we built, like 13 different models, do we need to take them with us,
No,
or the organizer should have them?
the organizer will have them, but as I suggested, package them up the way I'm suggesting. You don't have to, but bring them with you. Put them under the table. If you have enough room, you may be able to put your mat on the floor and put all your pieces out. And instead of your kids running around, they could sit there and test missions and do whatever they want to do on the floor.
Okay. My second question is, my understanding qualifier, we can only attend one.
That's
And
correct.
if disqualified, can we go second one? No, that's not allowed.
No, there's only one because then you would move on to the championship. However, there may be other people running scrimmages after the season. That's why I suggest you go to a scrimmage before the season. Go to one of those
Okay.
scrimmages, get into a scrimmage, and you can then at least you have two runs. And you may want to, if you have a school, maybe if you tell me that we're going to have a swap meet, and I'll put it on the calendar, and you invite 12 teams to come to your school, and everybody gets together and does, a fun challenge. They just run their robots so everybody can talk to each other and see what they're doing. This is not something where we're going to, teams will tell you how they're doing it.
Okay. So there's no limitation on scrimmage, how many you attend.
Correct.
Okay. Another question. You basically have two regions, Jersey North and the PA East. If, for example, we cannot sign up for one region, can we cross the region to sign up for the qualifier or scrimmage to another region?
You cannot cross for a qualifier, but you may be able to for a scrimmage as long as there's room. So what we
Okay.
don't want to have happen is a region gets a PA East scrimmage gets filled up by teams from New Jersey, and then my teams can't go in and play. My PA East teams. So we will play that by ear.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Hi, Mr. Larkin. I have a couple of questions.
Yep.
My team bought the Lego Challenge kit last year. We purchased a little earlier. And what if some of the items were lost? How and where we can buy them?
You can go to Lego Education and they'll sell you the parts. Just look up Lego. They have all those parts listed and they'll sell you the parts.
Okay, got it.
You might even go check on Facebook and see if anybody is selling a Spike Prime kit. If somebody is, I would buy it because then you have all those extra parts.
Okay.
Hi, Jasmine here.
Yeah.
So I have a team with 5 kids, and I know there is up to 15 missions. Do they have to attempt all the missions?
No, you attempt what you can. You
Oh,
attempt
okay.
what you can. And if a judge says, how come you didn't do more missions? You say, well, we decided we want to make sure we could do these and do them well.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's really up to you. You may
Oh,
want
okay.
to try to maximize your points by the missions you pick.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Frank, I have another related question. Now, we usually have one primary robot base, and then we have another backup robot base. Now, during the game, can we say that we put one on the left corner, another one on the right corner to save the time? Because when you swap things, it takes time, right? So you try to accomplish as much as you can within 2.5 minutes. Is that allowed?
I don't know if a second robot is allowed. You would have to ask first that question.
Okay.
So, Mr. Larson, I do have a question about the specific robot models. Right, I heard you mention Spec Prime, and also you mentioned the EV3. So some of the team members on our team, they use Robot Inventor. Is that approved model for this particular region for the competition?
It is my understanding that Robot Inventor is not programming. Is it for programming? Or is
For
it just for
competition.
designing the robot?
Using that as a base robot for other missions.
No. But what I'm saying to you is Robot Inventor for designing, or is it for actually programming and running?
Programming and running.
According to FIRST, you're allowed to use any of the I would suggest you call FIRST and ask that question. Let me know their answer. But as far as I know, if it's a Lego part, you can use it.
It is a Lego part.
I suggest you contact FIRST and get clarification.
Okay. Thank you.